Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi, WYAD 94.1 FM, and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, it's tuning in through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcasts. We're glad you all could be with us today as we're having a very special guest joining us. Austin Rogers is someone you guys probably know as a Jeopardy All-Star. But for those of you who are looking to be a little smarter when it comes to your next game of trivia, or just for some great facts for yourself, he has the perfect book for you. It's called The Ultimate Book of Pub Trivia by the smartest guy in the bar. We're going to talk to Austin not only about the writing of the book, but also what it's like for him to pull together all these great facts and to see the response to it. Austin, really appreciate the time today.
Hey, thank you, Cyrus. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, the pleasure's definitely all mine. Well, I have to admit, Austin, I'm a typical introvert, so I don't get out to a lot of trivia for myself, but I love to learn stuff. And when I first got your book, that was the thing. I was like, you know what? This is some cool stuff even for me. So what has it been like for you to see the way that people are enjoying it, not only for trivia games with others, but also just fun facts for themselves?
Hey, I totally like that. I've been duly pleased when I hand the book out to people for the first time. They're like, oh, can I see a copy of the book? And I hand it to them, and immediately just the most remarkable thing happens. Everyone starts clustering together and quizzing one another and passing the book around and asking questions and flipping through and finding categories to be like, no, I don't like this one. Ooh, let's talk about this one instead. So it's really great seeing it organically being used in the way that I anticipated it. But, Cyrus, if you're a little bit of a homebody and you want to go home and study it on your own, it's also that fun because every page is peppered with little fun facts and pro tips.
Yeah, such a great point, and I love the difficulty levels there. Also, it kind of helps us to know where we may be safe and where we may want to challenge ourselves. Have you always been a person that likes to learn, Austin?
Absolutely. I mean, my childhood was spent reading encyclopedias and memorizing and dates and maps and airplanes and supercars and, you know, all of those kinds of things. So I've always been like this just natural memorizer, but by no means am I photographic memory. I just remember a lot of things, and I can synthesize them for recall when necessary, say under pressure of lights in Los Angeles.
Speaking of that, I have to say there were some standouts for me in the book, The Ultimate Book of Pub Trivia, and one of those was the drink glasses, Austin. You know, as someone who, again, I don't get out to a lot of events, so I don't see a lot of different glasses or even know the different types. Though that's one of the interesting ones for me. You have different things in the book, like random stuff you might not know. I love that. What has that been like for you to help people to, for one, discover things that they were not aware of, but also to help kind of share that with other people?
Well, yeah, because a trip team event when you're at a pub, and it's a family event when you're at home, and you got to make sure that everyone is accommodated with a diverse portfolio of questions and something that is inclusionary, you know, and it doesn't have to be inclusionary or exclusionary in each round, but overarching, you want a whole book of trivia to touch on all those touch points that everyone would want. You know, we'll have old-timey movies for grandma, and then we'll have, you know, 60s rock and roll hits for dad, and then we'll have One Tree Hill for your younger sister, and then we'll have, you know, we'll have college football for all your bros, right? Now, everyone's in on it, and if you don't feel good about one round, it doesn't matter. Later on down the road in the book, there will be something else that will appeal to you.
And you've been able to share this love of trivia and learning and quizzing, Austin, in different ways. Of course, now we can all get the book, but also, I mean, through your own podcast as well. Talk to us about that tribe, especially over the past couple of years with the pandemic. What was it like for you to kind of see the way people kind of rallied around things like trivia?
Yeah, so I've always hosted pub trivia live and in person, just me, a microphone, and a laptop, and then lockdown happened, and we all had to stay home to stay safe. So I started broadcasting on YouTube Live. And then I decided to turn it into a fundraiser and started raising money for out-of-work bartenders. And in the course of lockdown, I raised $65,000 for out-of-work New York bartenders. And in the meantime, created this own little community because it got out there, word got around, and people started playing in Ottawa, Canada, and in Houston, Texas, and Los Angeles, California, and Nashville, and in Saskatchewan. It was absolutely remarkable. And then the crazy thing, Cyrus, was I started seeing these people in the chat rooms on my YouTube channel making friends with one another. That was the most remarkable part. And then taking this technology and bringing it into the real world, wherein you can stand in the middle of a bar and ask a trivia question and have hundreds of people all around the country watching you simultaneously. And that's where we are now.
Yeah. And that's why I think people really appreciate you. I mentioned in my introduction, Austin, as we wrap up here, that people know you as a Jeopardy All-Star. What was that like for you to, really on a world stage to show people how cool it is to be smart?
Yeah, it is cool being smart. And I think the continued success of Jeopardy and the super winners who we've encountered in the past couple of years, like James and Matt and Amy, just reinforces that. Jeopardy is on the tip of everyone's tongues, and everyone loves it because for the first time, it's cool being smart, Yeah. It's fun being a nerd.
Yeah. I love it. Well, look, as a fellow nerd, I'm totally appreciative of that. And, Austin, so glad you could stop by the show today. Again, everyone, Austin Rogers has been our guest. You know him as the Jeopardy All-Star, but he's also the author of the book, The Ultimate Book of Pub Trivia by the Smartest Guy in the Bar. You can get it through our friends at Amazon.com, of course. And, Austin, how can our audience stay connected with you?
You can go to AustinRogersTrivia.com to sign up for those remote trivia nights, or check out my Twitter, Austin Tylero, or my Instagram, Agra27, and hopefully we'll hear from you guys. Go out and buy the book, and if you do buy the book, buy it local. Buy it local. Keep the money in your community.
Love that. Love that. Austin, thank you again. I really do appreciate it. I'm looking forward to speaking with you again.
Great, Cyrus.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live here in your community station in Mississippi, WYAD 94.1 FM. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.